All right, this is the Fermented Goat podcast. This is episode 2 for July 27, 2018. We have Anger Mike,
Hey, what's grabbing him?
Decrepit,
Hello.
and Beans, our LA correspondent.
What's up?
On top of the news right now, we're going to get into sports with Derrick Rose going to the Cavaliers for around $2 million. What we got, boys?
So, Derrick Rose. He signed for $2.1 million, which is like the veteran minimum, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, or Wojnarowski, or whatever the heck his name is. But Derrick Rose is just trading one bad for another bad, in my opinion. Like, Kyrie's not going to want to be there anymore, and is Derrick Rose an upgrade from Kyrie? That is really what you're asking. Is like, Derrick Rose would have been a great asset to have come off the bench to sub in for Kyrie, but to replace Kyrie with Derrick Rose, you're not convincing me that that's an upgrade at all. And you may not even get past Boston at this point now. Like, in my opinion. What do you think, Bings?
Yeah, that's not gonna work out at all.
Well, I mean, the Lakers tried to pursue him. Did he not go there because the West was overloaded, or he still wants to stay in the East?
But
He just doesn't want to be on the bench. He wants to be a star player, but that's not happening with the Lakers.
can Derrick Rose really call himself an all-star player anymore? Can he give you half a season of quality games that he's not like limped up? And no offense, because that dude was an amazing talent when he was in Chicago, and he was one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen, but he's hobbled. He's half the player that he used to be, and you just can't expect a player who's been hobbled by injuries and stuff like that to come back and be that 3-point game-winning player that Kyrie is. That's an unfair thing for him to do, and I think he's being unfair to himself, thinking that he can be that guy.
Well, now, how about Kyrie? Now he wants to leave Cleveland for whoever. Is it because of Derrick Rose or what?
Oh, I don't think it's because Derrick Rose. I think Kyrie's he's a different dude, man. He doesn't click the same way as most everybody else does. He seems kind of like awful, not off in a bad way, but he's not the same as most everybody on his basketball team. And he wants to be. It's his time. He thinks for him to be the star. But the question is, really, as you boil down to, as you look at it, is Kyrie the number one guy on a team? Can he be a number one guy on a team? And what team does he fit into that they don't have a number one? They throw out names like the Spurs that may acquire him, but guess what? He's definitely not number one in San Antonio. First, you got a guy named Kawhi, and then you got Pop. Pop is number one, right? And then Kawhi, and then it would be Kyrie. So you're not going to win there. Houston is absolutely out of the question. Minnesota is his best fit, and he's still not the number one there. And he's the number two at best in Minnesota, when Karl Anthony Towns is the number one there. That is the number one, and probably, I don't know, in the next 4 or 5 years, Karl Anthony Towns is probably the best player in the NBA, in my opinion. What do you think? Where does Kyrie fit, Beans?
I don't know. If he wants to win outside of Cleveland, I'd go to San Antonio, but he's not gonna be a number one there. If he really wants to be a number one, he'll go to the Knicks. But again, you're trading one bad for another bad, in my opinion.
Okay, so let's just say if he's not really going for number one, he just want to get away from the shadow of LeBron James. What about the Lakers?
He's not going to the Lakers, man.
They got low. He wouldn't fit. He wouldn't fit there. I did hear. I did watch Sports Nation today, and they did say that Phoenix was a guy, and Phoenix would be interesting because they have a piece there. Devin Booker can score a lot of points, and he's a heck of a shooter, but I just don't see. That's not a win now team. You're not going to win right now. You could be dope and come to my hometown, come to my home state of Denver. That would be great, huh? But they don't have any ability to acquire
Yeah,
Kyrie.
I don't see Denver, but Phoenix is definitely a potential because like they got really close last time, didn't they?
like, shoot me down with the Denver. Oh man, we got Jokic, man. He's a baller.
Nah.
Anyway, you don't believe Jokic is a baller? That dude is dope. But that's on for third pod. We'll talk about that on
Yeah,
the third podcast.
Yeah, we'll look at how they're. But like Phoenix came close in the playoffs last year, right? Or was it just a fluke that they got there?
No, it wasn't a fluke. I mean, it's not a fluke. They're a good team, but they're just, I don't know. They're not a win now team. They're not a win now team because I don't have a reason statistically why they're not a win now team, but I just feel like they're still building, and they're not going to be a championship team for quite some time still.
All right. So last week we talked about the son of LaVar Ball, Levon. Now let's talk about the daddy. He just recently held a AAU game up in Las Vegas, and there was several controversies. Of course, the one was he got technical. I think Beans has more information on this.
Yeah, wasn't it the championship for his team up in Vegas?
Yeah.
And yeah, he got called out for a technical for talking crap, and then he threw his his temper tantrum and he pulled his team. That was ahead, that was winning, but since he got a technical, he just decided he was gonna take his team and go home, and they forfeited.
I mean, what message does that say to his kids? Because that was mostly, what, 16-year-olds and under?
Yeah, I think it's 17 and under, but I just hope Lonzo isn't like that. I hope Lonzo isn't like that.
Everything that shows Lonzo says he's not like
Yeah,
that.
And the complete opposite, and I hope it's true because
just by that Foot Locker commercial on the Father's Day one, he's not like his dad. But I mean, he's not really the issue. He's not really the deal here. Like, what does that say to like AAU basketball? I get is a different animal than high school basketball and all those other prep basketball leagues. In the fact that it's more individualistic, it develops individual skills, and it tries to push those individuals into the next level, which I understand completely, and it's a great thing to help a lot of people develop their game and proceed into college that way. But what are you telling you're telling your kids that, like, if you don't get your way, then I'm literally gonna take my ball and I'm gonna go home with my entire team if I don't get my way. And so you get called for a technical and then you bail. I mean, that's an absolute wrong message to send to the kids. But LaVar Ball, in his recent history with our interaction with him, shows that he's that kind of person anyway. So we should just come to expect that, and those players that are on his team should expect that kind of behavior as well, especially the parents, because they know who LaVar Ball is. And if they don't know who LaVar Ball is, they should by now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like the other day, he commented that he's like the best coach in basketball. I don't know if he was just playing around, but I think he was being real about it.
No.
He's not playing around about it.
Yeah, I don't. Any statement around from him is pretty much, he's pretty serious.
he thinks he really thinks that he was better than Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan was in his prime. He really, when he says things like that, I really think he believes it. And I don't know who his parents were or what their background was, but wow, how did you build a child with that much confidence? Because I have a 7-year-old and I can't relate to that because I can't put that much confidence into somebody. Like, that is an amazing amount of arrogance / conceitedness, confidence, whatever you want to call it, is I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything recently like it. It just astounds me.
Well, I don't think his confidence is for other people. I think it's just for himself.
He's trying to get that money.
Like yeah.
So let's just come down to it. Is he good for the NBA or is it bad for the NBA to have him around?
I mean, it's good for publicity because
Yeah.
what they say, like any publicity is good publicity, even if it's negative, you know.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about him.
And we're sitting here talking on this no-name podcast, and we're sitting here talking about him.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
he's definitely a clickbait, is what they call him nowadays. Is
Yeah, for
what it
sure.
like what's going on in LaVar Ball's world, you know? All right, let's push on into another topic. Let's go into video games. Mike, you played For Honor for a while. How was that game for you?
Man, that's a love-hate relationship if I ever known one. I haven't played it in probably about a week after the Centurion release came out. I stopped playing it because there were some imbalance issues, and I got tired of getting kicked off the servers all the time, or Nat gaming types, and so it got real grindy, but the grind wasn't good enough. There was no reward because you wouldn't even complete a match, and you just get kicked off for no freaking reason, and you just want to throw your controller through the window.
Well, I hear you. So now, what about this thing where they're going dedicated servers?
Man, dedicated servers would solve a lot. But would it solve their imbalance issues? Probably not, but it would be a lot. But it would definitely be a lot more rewarding, and I would enjoy the game a whole heck of a lot more if they had dedicated servers. Like, dedicated servers are just absolute game changers, because you have the other way, you have a host, right, and everybody else connects to that host.
Yeah,
so,
and it's like you actually have an actual admin, you know, to monitor, you know, human behavior as well.
absolutely, like having that extra moderator to set rules, boundaries, things like that, and to even if they had something where they could, kick high latency players, due to poor matchmaking or whatever, would help a lot too. I mean, this is an absolute game changer for Honor, and I don't see how it could impact it negatively, to be honest.
Well, how about our chivalry MLG player, Decrepit? You know, what do you think about this?
Well, it's 6 months since release, and this has finally happened. Not even counting all the other things that For Honor has done, I think it's a little too late. I don't think they'll really recover.
Yeah, I agree, because like I think this is a reaction because like after a month or maybe in 3 weeks, 95% of the population dropped from that game.
But isn't this expected from Ubisoft? Or do we expect this 90 to 95% player drop after the first release, like from every Ubisoft game that's come out within the last 2-3 years now?
Yeah, from Ghost Recon Wildlands to whatever.
From The Division, bro.
Oh yeah. Beans got some dedication.
The Division
there.
broke my heart, man. Beans is half the man he used to be because of this.
Beans was our last man standing in The Division. He was still dedicated, and I was no.
I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, man.
This is a podcast, bro. This is what we do. We talk about this.
This is so bad.
But it's still your heart, right? It's still there.
So let's talk about what Ubisoft did. Let's take a look back at Division, and what did Ubisoft do as its final last death throes to try and save it? The Division, that is. They added in a new PvP center, right?
Yes.
And Beans, how did that go?
Horrible.
It was the same issues that we had before, correct?
Same ones, just made it shinier, and it's like, here you go.
I mean, the one mode that actually stood out was that survival mode, right, Beans?
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool at first, but then it just got really, really repetitive.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
really, but a real kind of grind.
Yeah.
Let's move on. How about Pokemon Go, Decrepit? You had something about that.
Boy,
Play that.
did they mess up.
How bad? Tell me.
Alright, so Pokemon Go Niantic recently had a festival for the release of their new, or not new, but the release of the legendary Pokemon.
Where was this?
Who- this was in California. So, event in California, people around the country, around the world fly in, and the whole thing is advertised. It's a giant event. Everyone log into the game, join in this giant battle thing to try and capture this legendary Pokemon. Everyone gets there. Festival starts. Servers can't handle the load of all the people that are there. So, in a panic, they try and expand the zone area to try and loosen the load on the servers. But what that did by accident is allow people outside the venue access to the legendary Pokemon. So people who didn't pay for the damn thing got it. And people inside the stadium didn't even get it.
Well, so this smells lawsuit. Am I right?
I believe there's at least 12 people suing Niantic for they say mostly misadvertised stuff, because they were promised a legendary, couldn't get it, and now they're looking for reimbursements on travel expenses, hotel stay, everything they've done over there if they've traveled. And we'll just have to see what Niantic does with it.
I mean, come on though, come on. Like, we're talking about people that flew out from places like Chicago and the East Coast and shit, and they flew out there to go to this Pokemon event, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out to the point where they tried to fix it because they didn't do proper testing before this event, apparently, and didn't test their servers and everything. So these dudes come out here and they're demanding a refund of their ticket price, which is absolutely an acceptable request, I would think, and due to the lack of performance at the event. But then if you take retaliation and go for punitive damages, where you like repay you for the flight and repay you for your time and all this other crap, like, to me, like, be thankful they refunded your money and then they sent you on your way. But I wouldn't see you collecting any punitive damages for flight that you were going to take anyway because you wanted to go to the event.
But
Like-
also, they refunded, they offered refunds for everyone at the event, also giving everyone $100 worth of in-game credits as well on top of.
I would just say you're square. Like, I mean, that sucks.
What more do
But-
you want?
Yeah, like, what, like, why isn't that enough?
I guess it's the experience. They were promised experience, and like this is like a convention or a gathering, and it's supposed to be isolated within that area. So, they've been let down basically.
Yeah, and just like any other event, like, let's say I bought tickets to see Nas.
Admit it was Justin Bieber.
Like, one more time. Oh, okay, Justin Bieber. I went to go see Justin Bieber, Katy Perry lining up. Boom, Justin Bieber bailed on us because he do that recently.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
he
I
just
was
did
talking
a
about
couple
it.
days ago.
Yeah. So I would just, let's say I flew out to fucking Canada land or wherever the hell he's from. I don't believe in Canadians, so I don't think he really exists. But let's say I flew out there and I wanted to go see his concert and he didn't show, and they refunded me my concert ticket and they comped my hotel. I would say I made out okay.
Because at
Because
least
I
like, you
would-
got to go to a new place, at least.
But then, like, at the bare minimum, Yeah, exactly. You had a new experience in a new city or whatever,
Also,
and
you
at the
saw
bare
Katy
minimum,
Perry.
he made you whole again. Like he paid for your hotel as well.
I agree.
That's
I think this whole situation, they refunded the tickets. They gave you some extra stuff to say, hey, sorry for the experience, but here's something to better experience, better your game or whatever.
yeah. Like here's like they're just saying, sorry for your bad experience. Here's a refund of your ticket, and here's $100. Like, thanks. I'll be on my way. Suing for all this other crap. I'm sure there's someone just suing for like millions over this. I'm sure there's someone who's got some bullshit lawyer who's lined up just to fucking hound on these Niantic guys yeah, they fucked up the event, right? They fucked it up, but they also made everybody whole again.
Yeah, but most of the time these class action lawsuits are those ambulance chasers that just sit around like, what is an event that I want to get on, so I can sue the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
You were in Chicago anyways, so your little Pokemon festival didn't work out. Go walk around. You were in Chicago.
Was it in Chicago or people
Yeah,
coming
no,
from
no,
Chicago?
no,
No, it was in
in
California.
Chicago. No, it was in Chicago. I don't know where you got California from. It was in Chicago.
But yeah, it was
Yeah,
in
it was
Chicago.
in Grand Park or something like that.
The one of the lawyers is a California local.
Oh, well, no, I think it was in Chicago.
It says right here it was in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Chicago
Yeah,
to
you're in
participate.
Chicago. Go walk around. Find Poke. Just don't go to the south side.
That's
Yeah.
according to Polygon, by the way, guys.
Why don't
I
we
mean,
go to the south side, Beans?
Don't go to the south side. Don't go to the south side.
Just don't do it, man.
All right.
Don't go chasing Pokemon on the south side. That's all I
You're like, oh, there's some Pokemon over there, right next to Nuck and Dede and Pookie, all slinging rock.
Just don't go down there, man.
Back in the
Yeah.
day.
Get yourself dealt with, boy. Especially, no, I don't go down. I wouldn't go there. Although I do know a big guy from Chicago, and he used to hang out. He said he used to hang out in the South Side all the time.
How many times has he been shot at?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He used to see some crazy shit. I'd like to get him on here one day.
So, in the Overwatch world, the newest character, Doomfist, has been released. How's that going, Decrepit?
Doomfist definitely gonna shake up the meta. What people think they need to do to win a game.
Yeah, because like I saw after they released him, there was news about Roadhog being buffed again, like where he uses his gas to shield himself.
Yeah, so Roadhog has a self-healing ability, and how it is now is he has to stand perfectly still while he heals.
Right.
But what they're planning to do with him is he can heal, but he will be able to move around at full speed. So say like you're stuck in the middle of the open, but you're really low health. Pop the heal and just run to cover. But on top of that, they were thinking of giving Roadhog 50% damage reduction while healing.
Yeah.
So, don't know. That seems a little extreme, but also very interesting.
So back to Doomfist, is he worth playing or is it, overloaded? I know that he's not currently used in the competition, or is he banned or something like that?
He's currently locked for competitive play for a week.
So
He's gonna be someone if you're trying to be like a high DPS character player, you need to know Doomfist. He's
So-
really fast, really high damage, can one shot a lot of players in the game.
So when they brought him in, who was he supposed to counter, or what was the reasoning they brought him in? I guess Roadhog was the key, or is it,
No, so
A Reinhardt?
the the meta was before Doomfist came out was all the highest mobile characters in the game. And what Doomfist does is his one ability, Rocket Punch. It charge it up, punch someone right in the face. It will stun them and throw them away. So all the high mobile characters, they have to use an ability to get into the fight. But if you immediately get punched out of the fight, you're exposed out in the open by yourself. You get picked off, you're dead instantly. And then you're one man down in the fight, giving the advantage to the other team.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, so you played him so far?
Played a little bit of him. You have to be real fast. You have to see how people are gonna move, and you have to play defensively with him. As fast as he is, and how mobile he can be, he can get caught out real fast. He's a giant hitbox. He's really big.
Right.
He's a 6 foot tall black guy with a fucking truck as an arm.
Now he's classified as a tank right now.
No, an attacker.
Oh, he's an attacker. I thought he was a
Interesting.
tank.
Yeah, okay.
As
So
big
he's
as he is.
squishy.
He's big, but he's fast and hits extremely hard.
Is he he's really squishy though.
Yeah, because of his hitbox size.
Oh, wow. Well, so do you remember what how much HP he has or health points?
He has 250 health, I want to say, but he has a passive ability. Whenever he lands one of his abilities on an enemy character, he gains 30 shield. So you punch someone, you gain 30 shield. He has an uppercut ability. Punch someone up into the air, you get 30 shields. And then they're pretty much a Hulk smash. You just fall from the sky and smash the ground. 30 shield. If you can chain all those things, you can build his health to 300. So
Alright.
from 250 to 300, almost instantly. He can be a little tanky if he's good enough.
All right. Moving on to future nerd news. There's this exoskeleton chair. Mike, what do you know about this?
Oh, yo. So hey, this is like a chair that it's an exoskeleton basically that you put on around your legs and waist that allows you to, if you want to sit down, you just squat. You go into the squatting position and it holds you in that position as if you were actually sitting in your own chair, which could actually help out a lot of like factory workers and things like that, to where you're not getting a lot of repetitive type injuries and things like that. But the question is like, where does this application go from here? Like, okay, you can walk with basically a chair strapped to your leg. Where do we go from here?
Well, I mean, that eliminates the chair, basically. You don't have to have that running around, and it's a big safety improvement, so you don't have it tripping over and, making sure that's under the table all the time. So, yeah, like you said, it's a chair attached to you.
Yo,
But-
how would this revolutionize like sporting? Like,
Oh.
let's say you walked into a stadium and they gave you one of these and they're like, put that on. And they're like, okay, so in the stadium there are no chairs, and you just stand in these weird bleachers, climbing up to the sky, and everybody could just stand up and sit down and walk away as they please. Then you wouldn't have to worry about the butt scooch where I get someone's dick in my face. You know what I'm
Whoa.
saying?
How many times you got the dick in your face, man?
I mean, several. If you've ever been to a sporting event and some guy's sitting on fucking 15B and
So-
you're on 7B, this guy's dick is going in your face as he scoots by your ass.
Unless he's Asian. Oh, sorry.
The-
sorry.
Then it might not be your dick, and it might be chest high. It might
yeah.
not be that tall, and B, you wouldn't notice.
Now, so what you're saying is it's gonna be a stadium full of stairs. It's like a big stair.
Just a big fucking. It'll look like the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
Maybe
and then-
maybe the Romans had these.
maybe. But
They had flushing toilets.
you said this is gonna help with the industry with the automation. So the segue
Yeah, the
with this,
manufacturing network for sure.
right? So the segue for this is like Amazon's like trying to enlist some researchers to pretty much all the packing is robotic, you know, done by robotics. You don't have to have a human go out there and gather it all in one box and then mail it out. How's that? How's that gonna be? I mean, now you don't need the human or that chair.
It's inevitable.
Right.
I mean, that's for Amazon. I can see that as the inevitable step. With the exoskeleton thing, I think it's catering towards the more like the auto manufacturer type things where robots can't do certain things that like a hand can do. You know what I mean? Not at this point. So Mike Romo came up with this the seat in order to help alleviate like auto manufacturers. The Amazon thing is, I feel like that's just, I don't know why everybody would be upset about this, because it just seems like inevitable step.
Gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Well,
Yeah, I used to have a boss that used to say automate or stagnate, meaning it's going to cut your costs.
yeah,
And that's what's most important for Amazon.
Amazon seems like today's Ford. When Ford back then came up with the assembly, improving the assembly line, I think Amazon's like the next generation of Ford, where
Yeah, they're revolutionizing the warehouse and delivery system.
right, and then they're trying to challenge Blue Apron with this, Whole Foods. That's another story, but like their budget on research and development is almost like $6 billion. Now, just to say comparison, the United States spends almost $80 billion with DARPA. So the next step down from that is actually Amazon on research and development. So they're definitely trying to be the leader on industrial mechanics and steps and processes.
Yeah, you got, like, this is the natural step. This is the natural evolution of manufacturing, of delivery, of shipping, of things. The things that make most sense to automate. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense in 20 years from now to have a UPS driver. And I hate to say it, and I have no disrespect to UPS drivers, because they're a necessity right now. But in 20 years, I'm probably not going to have mail delivered to me by a person.
Yeah, because like let's say if we have drone delivery, now we don't even have to deliver to the front door, so we don't have to worry about packages stolen. It'll be delivered in the backyard.
I mean, yeah, you can then leave a note for him. Go
What
ahead.
if someone just hops the fence?
Well, that's you, you New Yorker,
Hey,
hood rat.
I see things. I know how people think. All right. You see
Yeah.
a drone carrying package in a backyard. You roughly know when those people are around. If
Yeah.
They live nearby.
Long Island's gonna be like a big AA area where people shoot it down.
Hey, man, I've already seen it on the news. People throwing rocks, toilet paper, twigs, trees.
Bean sitting on his rooftop just shooting shit with a BB gun and shit. Because that's all you can buy in California.
Yeah. That's some Nikes up there. I'm gonna get that. Well, I think that's a good wrap, guys. Tune in next time. We're probably gonna try at least once a week or twice a week. We'll let you know. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Anger Mike, any last notes?
Follow me on Twitter. I'm a third of the way to Jesus. At Anger Mike.
Beans?
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good
Stay
with y'all.
stay safe, man. I hear some drive-bys every day.
I'm okay. I'll be fine.
Decrepit, you hood rat.
Hey, you know what? Just keep your head low. Don't look anyone in the eye. Just keep moving.
Yeah, get good at chivalry, punk. All right. We're closing out. Thank you. Good night.
Later.